Hey everybody, it's Luke with Figure Me Out. Today we've got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Goldar from the Lightning Collection. Taking a look at the packaging here, we've got this on the front. On the side, that continues. I really love how they do that, and you can kind of see it from the side. You get a bigger picture of it. That's really cool. Power Rangers logo up at the top. At the back, we've got a picture of the figure, kind of standard for this wave, or this line so far. Got a little read up there. On the other side, we've got Goldar cheesing. Real big. This is a GameStop exclusive, so check your GameStops for this. On the top, we've got nothing. On the bottom, we've got some words and a barcode. Let's go ahead and get him out of this box and take him over to the light box for a closer look.
Talking about accessories, and first off, we've got a couple extra hands here. We've got a open grabbing hand and a fisted hand, so that's pretty cool. We've also got some wings that go on the back of Goldar, and these are removable, which is why I'm counting them as an accessory. We've got little plugs there. They are articulated to hinge up and down. This one, which I guess would be his left wing, is a little stiff on mine. I'm going to have to run that under some hot water and get that to loosen up. But this one's more of how it's supposed to be, because it'll actually fold in and fold out. So that's the articulation point there. And then this plugs into the back, so it looks like it has a swivel and a hinge as well. But we'll take a closer look at that once we get those on the figure himself. We also get a little lightning effect, and this is kind of a cone of lightning. It's purple, looks pretty good. I don't know that we've gotten this before in anything. If we have, let me know in the comments. I can't think of where this has popped up before. And the last accessory, but not least, we've got the sword of Goldar there. So that's pretty cool. Paint is pretty clean on that. You can see the little red button on both sides painted pretty good. And it's got this little groove on the one side. Looks pretty good. Good design down there. I like it. I like it a lot. Talking about Goldar himself. And look at that face. Wow, that looks really good. Really like that a whole lot. Detail work is awesome there. All these little tiny details that have been painted are painted pretty well. A little bit of a miss on that green there, but for the most part, a lot of these are painted very well. Just taking a look at the sculpt, overall sculpt. I love this. I love it so much. He just looks fantastic. All new sculpt, all unique sculpt. You know, he really brings out like the little horns in his helmet there. That's really cool. You got this kind of sun, like God effect. You've got the whole helmet thing there. Just very cool, you know, very cool. I think this would actually kind of look cool if they didn't have that little halo around it, but it looks cool with it too. I mean, and the little horn in the back, like it's just, you know, you got like that Roman, you got that Greek, you got that Egyptian, like it all kind of culminates here, and it's such a cool design for a figure. But anyway, taking a look at the armor, this is more of a softer plastic. I do like this gold a little bit better than the almost mustardy kind of gold over the rest of them, but you know, it is what it is. I think that's more true to the show, the mustard type gold. I don't think he was really like shiny gold. He was like a dull, like matte kind of gold in the show, from what I remember. It's been a while, but yeah, even like the chin is painted and the teeth are painted. It just looks so good. That face sculpt is awesome, completely unique. Now this is a separate piece. The little these little braids that come down, that's actually a separate piece underneath there. So if you lift up the helmet, you can see this is actually not part of the helmet, not part of the head. It's actually just a separate, kind of like a tie or something. It's like it's a neck piece, and it connects underneath there. If you can see that or not, probably not. Anyway. And this is a softer over piece that connects into some armor underneath. I do think this was individually sculpted for him, just because on the abs here, where this comes up, there's these two ridges, and this lays, I mean, pretty much flush against those. So I don't know why they did that, but it makes me think that this is a completely unique sculpt just for Goldar. So hopefully we'll see him again, you know, maybe in some different forms down the line. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Anyways, armor on the arms and everything. It looks just crazy good. The abdominal area also looks really good. Like I said, it's got those little ridges in there, so it's kind of odd. We've got this honeycomb type pattern throughout the armor that is very cohesive, very cool. This cod piece is also very soft plastic. It's just kind of a floating piece there. You've got his tail wrapped up in the back and stapled down, which I think is just awesome. Looking at the legs, we got the knees are painted that red. Mine had a little bit of bleeding on one of the joints. I think yeah, right there. It's got a little bit of bleeding. Not too bad though. But anyway, looking at that, that's pretty cool. Shins, again, that honeycomb pattern kind of ties it together. This is a hard plastic down here, so it's not soft like this one or like these. And these are hard as well. All of it's hard except for the cod piece and the chest piece and this, whatever you want to call this, the little braids. And then the toe sculpt is also really cool. He's got kind of like the bird feet, which I think is really neat, with the double claw on the back. Just overall, just a really awesome design for a character, and it definitely, very toyetic, translates very well into action figure form. But let's go ahead and talk about some articulation on this guy. We'll go ahead and move back over to the review stand.
And talking about articulation, I was able to run this under some hot water and get it to move. Also, at the top there was a little extra flashing of plastic that I had to cut away with an X-Acto knife to be able to get it to, instead of being at that position, you can actually fold it even further out and get it almost at a straight position right there. So there is another detent in there. I just had a little extra plastic. Yours might too. So if you do that, just be careful. Cut it with an X-Acto knife and should be good to go. With the wings, we'll go ahead and plug those in. Stand by. Boom, there it is. So taking a look at the articulation scheme here, we can look up a little bit. We can look down a little bit. It's a little tight because there's so much stuff around the neck there. I'm not faulting him for that. I get it. There's a little bit of pivot side to side, and it does rotate pretty well. It kind of takes the little dreads with him whenever you do that. At the wings, again, they are rotated. They go back out pretty good. They go pretty much straight, and then they do fold up into a nice, like that. So you can kind of get them tucked away behind him. I think that's how he normally had them during the show, was that they were kind of tucked back behind him a little bit. Like that looks right to me. But anyway, so we got that at the shoulders. They both go up about that far. We get a bicep swivel. There is a full rotation there. It's a little hindered by the soft plastic, but you can get it. You just got to roll it out a bit. We get a double jointed elbow. Comes in, if we get it with a good detent, a little bit past 90, so not too bad there. There is a wrist rotation, and it is hinged to go down and up, and that's the same for every hand. It's the same motion. I wish we would have gotten a side to side, but hey, if that's my biggest gripe, that's not too bad, and that's probably my biggest gripe on this guy, because he's pretty great otherwise. But anyway, the abs, he got a floating piece up here at the top. It does kind of go pivot side to side. It does rotate. It goes forward pretty good. It goes back pretty good, but then you get an ab crunch along with that. Mine was a little stiff, but with the ab crunch and that, I mean, we get a lot of back motion. And then if we crunch forward on that, we get a ton of forward motion. So a lot of ab movement there. But mine does kind of want to flop backwards just a little bit. It's a little floppy. You can kind of lock it in that forward position with the grip of the upper torso there. There is no waist rotation at the bottom. The hips go out about that far. They kick forward pretty good. Again, this is a floating piece, so if you kind of shift that around a bit, you can get a little bit more motion. But he kicks pretty much forward. Not so much back. Don't really get that too much. Upper thigh, double jointed knee comes in a little past 90. Not terrible for a big guy in armor. Ankles down, ankles up, and they are inhibited a bit by the just the sculpt of the armor there. But and we do get a crazy ankle rocker pivot. There are peg holes at the bottom too, in case you wanted to know that. For a size comparison, here he is next to Lord Zed and the White Ranger from that first wave. These are the only ones that I picked up other than this Goldar from this wave so far. And I think he scales pretty well. I want to say Goldar was a little bit bigger than Zed, but I'm not sure. They change size a lot in that show where they grow and they shrink, and I think you can kind of make anything work, but I do like that the Ranger's a little bit shorter than both of them. That makes them kind of bigger and imposing, and I do think that's a good choice. For another size comparison, here he is next to the Marvel Legends Spider-Man UK, the Union Jack, and the Captain Britain. And for that, you've got the Hyperion body, the Bucky Cap, and then the Sunfire body. And I think that he scales pretty well there. Marvel Legends tend to run a bit big for some reason. That's very evident here where, you know, you get that next to a Power Ranger, and there's the Bucky Cap, and the Power Ranger is even smaller than that, you know, so yeah, it's kind of interesting. And finally, for a comparison across a few different lines, we've got the Masher Spider-Man, the Padawan Obi-Wan from the Star Wars Black Series, the McFarlane Fortnite Skull Trooper, and the Mezco 112 Collective Iron Man. So that's it. That's the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Goldar. And I gotta say, overall, I love this figure. I think it's probably one of the best figures this year. It's just awesome. Top to bottom, I mean, the wings, the accessories, you know, I mean, with the extra hands, they're whatever. It's nice to have extra hands. But just the all unique sculpt, the new articulation scheme, the new You know, the wings, the everything. I mean, just from the front, from the back, from the side. I'm noticing things on Goldar that I never noticed as a child. That helmet is a really cool design with like I said, like with the Roman influences and the Spartan influences and the Greek influences, and you know, there's a lot going on there. Even like the what is it, Catholic kind of influences with the little halo effect around the top. The Egyptian, it's such an amazing conglomeration of all these different things. This is why I love action figures, is because it is such an amalgamation of just all these different ideas coming together and just making something just so truly awesome. I mean, a blue-faced dog Egyptian guy with a glowing purple sword, like who would have thought that up? But it works so well. Oh, it's just fantastic. So I love this figure. 10 out of 10, easy for me. This guy's been on my coffee table. He's going to be on my coffee table. I'm not going to be able to put him down, maybe for the rest of the year. But anyway, what do you guys think? Have you picked this up yet? Are you going to pick it up now? I highly recommend that you do. This is one that I would actually very much recommend that everybody get, even if you're not that big into Power Rangers. It's just a really cool figure. Got that cool sword effect. I mean, you can find something in this figure. Everybody can find something to love here, I think, if you like action figures. But anyway, what do you guys think? Hit like, hit subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought. And check me out over on Instagram. I'm going to have some pictures up there of this and all kinds of other stuff. And that is Luke_figuremeout at Instagram.com if you'd like to go over there. Check out my other videos and, like and subscribe so you never miss anything. And until we meet again, y'all happy collecting.